Akio Torch! I am beginning to regret summoning you. Do not. Here, try this. Welcome back to Tori's couch. This time we're here with some ghost stories. So if you recall in my last story time, I mentioned possibly unleashing a curse at work. Well, what if I actually did? It was a dark and stormy night one evening at work. The rain was going on for about 5 seconds, downpouring before it would stop. Downpour another 5 seconds again, and stop. The workers described it as playing red light, green light with us. The sky was pitch black, and even after the rain stopped teasing us for good, the lightning lingered, purple in the sky, staying in the atmosphere, hovering with a sense of dread. We all felt a sense of unease that night, spines tingling, all of our instincts going off. My first thought was, are we under a tornado threat? But that was not the case. Far stranger was at hand that evening. It begins after the rain has stopped, with its red light, green light, on and off, and my supervisor walks in to check on the stores. We are in an arrangement similar to a strip mall. There's 4 stores all arranged into one building. You can walk through them with ease. My supervisor is walking through my store, and she takes a look at my counter and she says, "Does your counter seem closer to the door than normal?" I just laugh. I say the whole room must have shifted if that were the case. The counter's bolted to the ground. She laughs too and keeps walking. Later that evening, as our instincts are continuing to give us the chills, my coworker comes in from break on the next store over, and she tells me spirits have visited this store tonight. 2. She describes the store being entirely empty. Of course it was. Nobody was here in this weather. And she describes hearing a man say, "Hey!" But she turns and there was no one there. And then later that evening she also describes the voice of a little boy, but takes a look around and there's no little boy to be found. And I describe what has just happened with our supervisor walking through, my sense of unease, and she tells me, right? She feels it too. We thought that was the end of the activity for that evening, until we closed the doors for the night. Closed early, the weather was bad, everyone had gone home, and so this is when everything starts to resume. Now, in the store we had some electrical problems. This was normal at the time. Lights would flicker on and off. Sometimes it would cut out entirely. This was not out of the ordinary. What was out of the ordinary was the voice of a little girl I heard before that. I heard her laugh, and it was not a cute laugh. It was a scary laugh, and it scared the crap out of me, and I'm not even kidding. Oh my god, she started giggling, and it scared the crap out of me, and immediately the lights went out. Like, it flickered hard. And I started freaking out at that point. I ran over to the friend who was also hearing the voices earlier, and I'm like describing exactly what happened, and we just ran in, and we're just basically yelling at them like, "Show yourselves, give us a sign. Who are you? What are you doing here? What do you want with us?" Trying everything. And I even got out my phone to record some audio, and it's very difficult to pick up with the music still going. And unfortunately, we didn't get anything that evening. However, that's far from the strangest thing that happened that night. Now, it seems like the activity was moving from one store to the next. It started out in my friend's store at the end, moved through mine, and kept moving down the line through the next one. Because the next activity that we found was with that same girl from earlier, walking through the next store. She says that she swears she sees our supervisor walking by. Dark hair, about my height, skinny, it wasn't me. And then she looks and it wasn't my supervisor either. There was nobody there. Some evenings pass and we decide to do a ghost hunt in this building, because that was a lot of activity and we want some answers as to what's going on. And so I bring this, which I use to record my videos, a PCM recorder, similar to what they use on ghost hunting shows. And again, I am having trouble getting anything to come through, even with this good audio system, because the music is so loud. However, when I am asking the questions, One of my coworkers points behind me, and one of our light up toys has turned itself on, and it is blinking faster than normal. Now my friend came prepared, and she doused that thing with some moon water, and she doused us with it too, and luckily there was no sign of anything attaching to us that night. This store is very active. That was far from the end. So much more activity has happened in this location, I cannot wait to hunt it again. Another instance, as I was working in the store, that she saw the ghost of the lady walking by. There was more activity in there the day I was working it. I saw something move out of the corner of my eye across the room, and I go over to check it out, and I find a little hanger label on the ground. I think it said size 2X, just lying on the ground, and it was right where that thing that I saw was moving. I bend down, and I'm thanking whatever it was that showed me that, because I can clean it up. So I pick it up, I turn around, and on the counter, the water bottle that I had left, this, which no longer works by the way, it has a button on the bottom that is meant to activate a light in this, similar to this. It looks like a lantern. The thing had turned itself on when I turned around. And the weirdest part, I have never gotten it to turn back on again after that. Another incident happened in the toy store, the first one, the one that I had from the previous video that my friend was working in that other night. We keep these fidget toys called poppets on the bottom of the register. It hangs on hooks underneath the counter, face side out so guests can see them, but down low of course. One day I'm in there and the store is packed, crowded. There's a lot of people in here. And one of those fidget toys had allegedly thrown at one of the guests' head somehow, and he just goes, "Who just threw a poppet at my head?" And he looks around and nobody knows. Everybody's shaking their head. And I look back to him and my jaws just dropped. So I'm like, this store is so haunted. Now you go throughout all these stories and you ask other people who have worked there, and they all describe the same things. A man speaking, activity that seems like the work of a child, seeing small forms out of the corner of your eye and there's no one there. Even seeing this lady standing, and you'd only see her for a split second. And you'll also hear her walking upstairs in the attic when there's nobody there. I remember with the man voice, what I heard with that later on. I heard him walking through the store like, "Oh, that's cool." That's what he said. And there was nobody in the store. It was like he's some imprint of somebody who shot there before. Now I will tell you, a lot more accidents happen at these theme parks than they like to tell you. There's lots of energy absorbed from the guests. There's lots of things going down that they don't tell you about. Next time you're in a theme park, take a look for things that others won't notice. Take a look around. You may contact the other side. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I'm sure I've got more stories where that came from. I'll keep you updated on any further paranormal activity I discover in that store. Future ghost hunts as well. I plan on recording some of those for you guys, because that's fun. I expect my next video may be on the earlier teased gaming channel, so keep a lookout for that. I'll have a link on my Instagram, Toxic Turtle, same as this. Feel free to follow me there, follow me here, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, don't let the ghosties get you tonight. Bye!